for a lot of African American individuals that might grow up in a lower income neighborhood with a lot of crime, things like that, all that exposure over a prolonged period of time can ideally affect someone's mental health. So constant exposure to that and then not really having necessary resources to be able to cope with that can ultimately affect someone's overall mental health as they mature into adulthood. So yeah, pretty much environmental factors is a huge modifying factor.
And even in simplest terms, I feel like you have homes where fathers are not a part of, and you have homes where mothers are overworked and stressed, and you have the kids raising themselves, and I feel like that alone is traumatic. And I think that, a lot of people don't realize that those traumatic events can cause mental illness.
I mean, it's definitely some things that they're dealing with. I mean, having an incarcerated parent is tough. I mean, it's something that's swept under the carpet, especially in inner city neighborhoods. It's just like a normal occurrence. And there's like a list of adverse childhood experiences like poverty, sexual abuse, things like that. And nobody ever thought about, divorce is another thing that they always had listed, separation from a parent, but nobody talked about parental incarceration. So yes, I mean, it's something that is definitely weighing on children. I mean, there's a lot of toxic stress around it. I mean, children with incarcerated parents are more susceptible to risk-taking behavior, a lot of different things in life. I mean, issues with academic problems, social issues, and it's a lot of information coming out now. I mean, there's been information out there, but that wasn't as big as it is now. Even to this day, I mean, with reentry programs, a lot of reentry roundtables, a lot of funding being put into reentry. But I mean, we're one of few programs actually addressing what's going on. It's not tougher for men in regards to access to the services, but it's tougher from a stigma standpoint. I mean, you don't want to seem weak in quotes and things like that. But I mean, sometimes it's power and vulnerability. I mean, being open to services and being open to saying, hey, I'm not okay. I mean, because you got people saying they're okay and they're at rock bottom right now. And they're saying they're okay just to show I'm tough, I'm this and that. I mean, I've been in that situation myself. I mean, you want to show you tough, you this, you that. And then, I mean, you start making bad decisions, start doing different things, or, suffer from depression. That's why depression with men, I mean, although women report it more, I mean, men have a much higher rate of complete
connection. When we see or we hear about things from the TV to news or just around in our communities, we take that on sometimes, the negative experiences, and we take that as our own emotions. It's something called vicarious trauma, where you actually start to experience and live those events as if they were your own. Some people start to experience problems with their sleep, their eating, their thoughts, just feeling hopeless and not feeling that they're able to really be a member of society.
I think Black men, more than any group of people, are under the most pressure in our country today. And depression is running rampant anyway in the Black community, and we already don't deal with it. So when Black men, I have 2 small children. They're African American and they're Honduran. They're half Spanish. So when they're seeing people getting killed left and right that look like them, it causes them to question, well, where do I fit in society? And with that type of thing going on, it definitely can cause someone to be depressed or to be anxious or even paranoid.
Maybe not mental health, but just how our mentality is. We're seeing the horrors of the world in real time. We're not reading about them in history books. All we have to do is just look at our phones, or just, of course you can turn on the TV and it's bad news, but now you see it in detail and you constantly keep seeing it. I know for me, what got me the PTSD was I was visiting a friend in Boston, and then that happened to be the same day as the Boston bombing. So that wasn't in my community, but it was just what was going on around me, and that also triggered the depression as well, because I just didn't want to do anything, and I always fell down because I didn't want to, do anything. But as for the community thing, I mean, not to sound like such a negative person, but you know, no one cares about us.
Brutality and just, I mean, I know speaking for myself, like just seeing all these stories on the media and just constantly seeing that, I mean, just even me being a mental health professional, me seeing that kind of like emotionally draining for myself. And I'm a professional, and you know, I have all these coping skills and things like that. I help people with coping skills, but I felt that I needed like a mental break. So this probably was like maybe like 6 months ago, was a lot of media coverage around police brutality, and I was just seeing it nonstop on my social media. So I was just thinking, like, you know, trying to encourage my peers who were kind of like reacting very emotionally, just kind of take a mental break from social media and just TV in general, because it can be overwhelming. And if you don't have a positive support system, and then you are someone that's isolating and or just really busy, and you don't have people that are checking in on you, or you don't have adequate coping skills, that can be detrimental to your mental health.